This update made possible in part by Jack Choate, Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready, yes.
I think we're rolling.
All right.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
I have an exciting show today.
Yes.
Well, you have an
As
exciting
every day.
show. We have, yes. We have Eat It Up is our sponsor today, and they brought some really nice goodies.
Yes.
And then Korey Walker,
Yep.
the new wrestling coach, will be on here after we get done.
Yeah.
And he's got some really exciting things to talk about, the new wrestling program and all the other stuff that he's involved in.
Do you know what we call Korey Walker?
What?
Korey Walker.
Okay. That was nice, neat, yeah,
So
catchy,
you know
catchy
that.
name, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Or Coach Walker, whatever.
Coach Walker, yeah.
Did you know that Eat It Up is 8 years old?
I did not.
I know you're a fan because
Well,
if you
yes.
ever go to the school board meeting or the city council meeting, the school board's the better one. Not because of content, but because they have snacks.
Right. Free.
And free snacks.
Free
Yes.
for you guys.
Well, yeah,
I have
anyone
to pay.
that attends can
Right.
partake. And if you go to the city council meeting, they don't got nothing.
Oh, well, heck.
But yeah, and then Eat It Up supplies those snacks to
Right.
the thing. So it's always something to look forward to. We go there, we get to eat. And,
It can be anything.
yeah, you
There've
never
been
know
cinnamon
what you're gonna
rolls.
get. It could be something like amazing.
Yes.
And
Yes, Tracy does a really nice job.
Tracy's sort of a restaurantpreneur,
Okay.
if you would, and she worked for Brahms for 22 years. I don't know if you
Happened to
knew that.
mention that this morning.
Yep.
I was in there and
She was like in Brahms management for a long, long time, and so really learned how to do the business side of a restaurant.
Right.
So she's always creating and coming up with new ideas,
Right.
and this is one of those. This is
I was gonna say, I haven't not seen that.
this is called a biddy box,
Okay.
and like in itty
Itty
bitty
bitty
box, and this has
right.
got, and she can make it anything you want.
Right.
And this one here's got cheese and grapes and strawberries and what are those?
Looks like pepperoni.
Pepperonis, crackers.
There's some cheese.
There's all kinds of cool stuff. Tomatoes, carrots.
Yeah. Those weren't the carrots. Those were Ritz. You were talking about the carrot. You held
Underneath
those up.
there, the carrots.
Yeah.
Carrots are down inside there.
Right.
Yeah, those were the crackers. And these are for like if you have a someone that's shut in or in quarantine, or someone that just needs some uplifting. Here's a little prize.
Pick me up.
Yes. So these are itty bitty boxes, and she can make I guess you can put anything in there you want. And then the other thing that she's kind of famous for is those take and bakes and keto dinners. So you come home
Okay.
from work at night, you go get a whole already assembled, chunk it in the oven for 10 minutes or something,
Okay.
and you've got a full-on home-cooked meal.
Did not. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. And then the keto dinners, that's
Yeah.
that's like her benchmark
Okay.
thing. And then she also does like box lunches. So I know we've had some
We've done-
meetings where it's a box, with the sandwich and chips and pickles and anything you want. She'd make anything you want out of it. And then another new thing she was telling me about today, I was over there just earlier, they're calling gathering boxes. So if you're going to a Christmas party, Thanksgiving thing, whatever, and you feel obligated to bring something, well, go get yourself a gathering box.
Right.
And she can make it anything you want, meat tray, vegetable tray, anything like that.
So do those gathering boxes align with the CDC guidelines to where they're for only like under 10 people and they're like 6 feet apart, stuff like that?
I think they might come with like long sticks. You can
Like the Beverly Hillbillies, the pot passing sticks at the
so
fancy eating table?
you don't have to touch the food or get too close.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure.
Fantastic.
Work on that. And then, of course, Tracy does catering of all kinds. I've seen her at a little, 4 or 5 people event all the way up to a couple of hundred people. And
Yep.
she can do it where you take it with you,
Yep.
or she brings her whole staff. They dress up and serve and that whole deal.
They done an ag dinner or two, maybe?
I think they have. Yeah,
everything.
and then she was telling me she's got a couple of really big ones that she's doing in Enid for some big corporations. I was
Very nice.
not surprised, but good.
But
good
you
for
were
you.
pleased for her
Yeah.
that she had reached out to that level where Enid is calling us now.
Yes.
Another example of a quality person doing quality work in Hennessey. And
Well,
it's
I like
getting
how
out
she's
there.
creative. Tracy has just never been one to just wait for people to come to her. She's always going out. And I know when they built the wind farm, she would take literally a truckload of food out there every day. That she was like the lunch,
The
would
lunch
go out
lady.
and serve a couple of hundred guys and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And then, of course, it's the semi-world famous Eat It Up Banquet Hall, where
Yep.
you can have your meat. And you just had an event there this week.
Monday morning we did.
You'd had was it the cross country girls?
Cross country girls. She prepared a breakfast. There was bacon and sausage, eggs, scrambled eggs, some hash browns, some fruit, different juices. It was a very nice event. So the kids it wasn't a send off that they did today. With this today being Wednesday, it was more of a thank you, congratulations, just an appreciation.
Well, and that's the cool thing about the
breakfast.
banquet hall is it comes with food. You don't have to schlep in stuff, or you can bring your own, but it has full catering with it if you needed
What
it.
would it be if it was a banquet place that didn't have food? Just be a room, wouldn't
Meeting
it?
room.
I mean, in banquet, kind of the food.
A meeting room.
Isn't food conducive to being a banquet?
I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So, give Tracy a holler. It's on Main Street. Everybody knows where Eat It Up is. And of course, the banquet hall is 2 doors down, and you can have a meeting, an event, training, session, whatever. So what do you got on your plate over there?
A couple.
Get it? Plate, eat it up. Food. Huh?
Right
Huh?
in the
Huh?
theme of things,
There you go.
absolutely. Do you know what movie was the deal, the Korey Walker thing?
No.
He said, "My name is Jim, but they call me Jim." You know what movie? You got it now? Safety committee walked through. They had.
What in the world was that?
So we've invited, we being Stacey Schovanec. Barry Crosswhite might have been a part of that. I don't remember that for sure. Stacey's been doing most of the communication back and forth. So Barry, if you're working with her, she's taking all the credit. So you might square that away.
Careful.
And but they went through and brought some parents in because we get so used to what we see around school that we get a little bit barn blinders. You know, we maybe we don't question it as much as we should. So we've Ms. Schovanec has asked some community members to come in, walk through the facility, walk through the site, and take a look at what they think could be an area of concern. And then we've had Ms. Schovanec's having committee meetings, and we're going to actually bring some of those parents in via the pragmatic rooms where they're just going to dial in and attend at a distance. And they had some really interesting ideas and some really good thoughts, and they're going to express those, and we're going to kind of again, sometimes when you're very focused on a certain area, an idea looks really good, but when you apply it to the larger school system, it gets to be a little bit of a challenge sometimes. So we have to work through them and kind of along that line. We have approved the permit to build the pad over to the northwest of the Early Childhood Center to move the dumpsters down there just to the north
Got to get them
next to
outside,
the road.
outside of the fence.
Yeah, and so what we had to do is cut the curb back, and that requires a permit. So we had to wait for the permit to be issued. See, again, some things that people want things done a little faster have to just understand. Was it I Dream of Jeannie? No.
Yeah, the nose.
No.
Well, I
That
Dream
was-
of Jeannie. No,
No, that was-
she did the blink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What
the
was
blinking doesn't work.
Had the little girl Tabitha.
Yes.
Bewitched.
Yep. That's it.
Bewitched. So if that were all there were to it, we would already have it up. But there's more than that. And so again, we got the permit. So we got to cut the curb, widen that out, so then the sanitation trucks can pull up, back right into where they'll pick those dumpsters up. And see that is a really heavy vehicle, and so that excuse me, the pad has to be extra reinforced, extra thick. Can't just leave the sidewalks. We've got to cut all that out. So that's in place. That'll get started. Buddy Daniels, again, another very talented local construction guy, is doing that. And then when he gets done, Keith Dobbs, another very talented local construction guy, will come in and build the fence to the north and to the south. And then on the east side of the pull-through, we'll have double gates where they'll open those. So we'll still unload and load the same spot, but we just won't have vehicles coming in and out all day. Right. That'll be controlled. And then the cameras are ordered as well. Again, there's just a weight on some equipment I ordered Pepper's my 14, 15-year-old little German Shorthair bird dog. She struggles. Cold mornings aren't good for her. We look at each other and we both go, "Man, you're looking old." And so I bought her a heated dog pad.
Okay.
And so it's in her doghouse, which their little doghouse is in another little shed, so she stays pretty warm. It got there in a day. I ordered it on a Sunday night, and Monday morning it was at our house from Steve Bezos. He got right up and got on top of it.
The
Amazon guy.
Yeah, sure.
And
he delivered it himself. Yeah.
I think he did. But then other things, we're 6 months out, and I don't know exactly how you know which ones are which, but everything is ordered. So we're going to address some shortfalls in surveillance at the early childhood center.
Very cool.
That is.
Well, it's good to see that it's now coming together and now it's actually happening, because I know getting to that point is just a daunting task with city and permit.
Right.
And it's not that the city's slow, it's just there's a lot to
process.
it. There's a lot of stuff to it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the fencing itself had to be approved. We had to get the pad construction was one project. It had to be approved. And then erecting a fence was another project. It had to be approved. So, again, those have all been done. And no, the city's great to work with. They are fantastic. Bert Greitz came out, and we walked, before we ever did anything, we walked the site and made sure we weren't violating any city codes.
Fire
codes, anything that we could possibly. The last thing I want to do is go out, put something up quickly, and end up taking the telehandler and
well, and there's also there's the thing. I remember I was on some project, and my job was I had a thing, probably about as big. It was a stick, and I had to try to push it through holes in anywhere that a kid's head could get stuck in.
Okay.
And so there was a fence and some other things, and I would go along and I'd put a little flag on it if that hole was too big, and they'd have to narrow it.
And somebody would come and address that and keep it up, make sure it fit its purpose.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right.
So next, the cross country team is in
they're killing it.
Edmond. They're down there running.
Yep.
I understand we were 13th as a team, and we had the one runner. I'm doing this from memory. One runner had was 33rd, and one was 44th. I think those are the two that placed. Then 13th as a team. So.
And I mean, they haven't run today. Today's Wednesday.
Yes, they have. They did run.
Well, they
today.
have run today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the latest update on their success.
Very cool.
And when Coach Walker, when I were leaving to come up here to do, or down here, because we're going south, I guess you consider down here. So we actually were walking out, and they were getting ready to take a picture, and they let us be in the picture with them. And so there's me and Coach Walker, and then some really athletic people next to us. And I always found if you want to look successful, stand next to a lot of other successful people, and people just go, "Well, that Jack, he's pretty good at what he does, so the other guy must be good at what he does." And you don't have to actually have any real skills or facilities. You can just look like you do, and that's what it's all about. So you well know.
Very cool.
But yeah, that was great to have the breakfast for them, and they all seem to really like each other. And get along, and they giggle a whole lot and stuff like that. So I was very, very proud of them. I can promise you they went down and left with a good name for Hennessey. Everyone will have a very positive.
Very cool. I enjoy how the school and especially the community gets behind kids, whether they're going to state or not. I mean, it is a really big deal. Where I went to school, our football field had more weeds than grass. And if you wanted to watch the game, you brought a lawn chair. There was no bleachers and things. When I came here and saw Hennessey, even before the remodel, I thought, what is this, like a college stadium? This is crazy. This is a high school. And so it's neat to see how well supported our kids are here.
Through all of the different activities, so whether it's speech and debate, whether it's the band and vocal or whatever the activity is, we have a lot of support. Yep. So you do know the only time we don't stand behind our kids.
When's that?
When they're leaving the parking lot. That's a dangerous time to be.
Young high school kids in cars.
Yes, exactly.
Get out of the way.
So then we have a football game here Saturday, which would normally be Friday, but it's with Luther and I think they had a COVID issue, so they couldn't play Friday night, so they must have come out of quarantine on Saturday, and so we're playing Saturday, November 7th, at noon. Same things about don't bring your kids and dump them off for 3 or 4 hours of quiet time, because we're not letting them play football or anything west of the bathrooms. They have to
sit
be in the stands.
bleachers and watch the game.
The $2 or $3 or $10, I don't know exactly how much it is you pay to get in, but whatever you're paying to get in, you're paying to get in to watch a game.
Not for
we'll
babysitting.
We're providing the entertainment, so you have to kind of sit there and partake in it. Same thing after the game, though, we're please let them do their huddle and then come out of their huddle to go out on the field. Parents and fans have been phenomenal. I can't say that enough, how many times they've kind of looked at me and rolled their eyes at times and made that kind of a face and said, yeah, if we have to, we will. And they've been so fantastic.
I know that the football especially, and I suppose that basketball is going to get them too, is Coach Hicks was telling me that, I thought when you set your football schedule, it was like in stone. And it's not. It's like he's calling around looking for teams to play.
Yeah.
Like, okay, who's healthy? Can we get together on Friday night? And this is just a really weird year.
I know one week, Kingfisher, Jason Sternberger's the superintendent down there, and we were talking to him about different things. But he mentioned how they played Clinton because both of them ended up having an open date because of COVID changes, and so they just got together and played a game and kept everybody kind of on track. And I think if you watched OSU and Texas, you saw OSU look pretty rusty after 3 weeks without playing a game.
Yeah.
I don't think that went, not that I'm making excuses, but
Got to stay fresh.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, speaking of that, Friday at 3:30, our high school girls, I didn't ask if it was just high school girls, but at least high school girls, at least high school girls are playing Garber in a scrimmage. They're scrimmaging Garber on Friday at 3:30.
This is basketball.
Basketball. Girls basketball.
Huh.
Yeah. Girls basketball is scrimmaging against Garber. I believe that's here as well. It must be because she's asking me, Coach Singh, another quality individual we have. Ali Singh is the girls'
We're going to get
high
her
school
on
coach.
here so you can meet her.
Yeah. She's just a busy cat now. But same thing, please, don't everybody go to the scrimmage. We'll have home games, but parents, same thing, you social distance. While you're in public common areas, if you're down in the lobby, you're down in the restrooms, the concession, or any place like that, please wear your mask. When you go sit down, if you're with your group, take it off, that's fine. But please, while you're up and about, wear your masks. Okay, so also the the last week we had the Monday, Tuesday, or actually we were in school Monday, but we had the Tuesday, Wednesday ice storm where people were all home. Knew it was going to be a challenge, but that's when you really unveil the hidden things is when it's a challenge. So again, I've got very little feedback. We are working through a plan as we move forward with things like, what do we send a charger home per family? So instead of trying to send, 4 chargers for a family, that kind of thing. The way we make connections and do a little better job of working with our patrons about how they need to connect. Again, if you can post to Facebook, you can post and you can get on and do your lessons.
That was the problem last time, is that everybody expressed their concerns on Facebook, and Dr. Woods doesn't see the Facebook thing.
Don't do business over Facebook.
So if you have something constructive to say, you email Dr. Woods. Email address is right here. And things happen because...
And they can do the principals.
Yep, or the principal, whatever. But all of the email addresses for the people you need to communicate with are in the description of this video. And then the other thing is I wanted to mention, because I wasn't aware of this, is that while the kids are at school, their devices, what do you call them? Chromebooks and the iPads are dropped in a special case that just charges them.
Right.
And when they just pull them out, well, the charger's built into that case, so
Right.
it's a lot of work to get the charger out and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So,
and we knew it was going to be an issue, but I think we kind of believe we'd be back in school Wednesday.
yeah, we thought it was a one-day deal.
Yes. And so we went longer because the Chromebooks should last a day, pretty easy. So,
Yep.
but and we're talking about the schedules. What schedules? Where maybe go 15 minutes, 9:15, 11:15, and 1:15 if you're a first grader, and then you're fifth graders you go this time. So you get on, teach your lesson, kids work, then you're going to see them again in an hour or two, and they can ask questions. And not a perfect situation, but I think better than eating up all our snow days.
Yep.
And we continue to talk a little bit about getting meals out. By the way, this has nothing to do with the ice storm, but if you want to get if you qualify for the food box, get a hold of one of the churches or contact the school, and we can get you the form if you want to fill it out to get a food box.
Is that for Christmas or Thanksgiving?
It's kind of like Christmas giving, whatever it is, but it's kind of a combination of
If you missed out
the
on
two.
that, the churches, the Ministerial Alliance, I guess it is,
Yes.
has put together a program where if you sign up, and I believe the contact information is in the below this video. If you sign up for this food box, there's a pickup date also. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll make sure that's in the
Had
description.
that last time.
Yes.
I'll have to bring it next week.
Go watch last week's video.
Yep.
Anyway, you can get a family food box to help with the holidays.
I believe it's going to be a pork loin, corn, beans, mashed potatoes, gravy, all that kind of stuff. The pork loin will be prepared.
Oh, so you don't have to cook it.
You don't have to cook it.
Oh,
And,
well, I would qualify for that then.
Yes.
Okay.
You can get you a...
Doesn't need any tools.
No. No. Well,
Well,
you're going
maybe
to
a
have
knife
to
and a
eat
fork,
it. Yeah,
but sure. I
exactly.
mean, I don't need to use
You don't need a
the
grill.
stove. I'm not
No.
allowed to use the stove.
Yeah, and there's a gentleman there that's smoking all those, and he does a phenomenal job. So
Very nice.
Again, if you want the holiday meal box, get with one of the churches or Ministerial Alliance.
Yeah, contact
members,
just contact your church or
Yeah.
any church because
School.
they're all members in
They
Hennessey.
could even email me, and I'll get the information and email them back to whatever email
Either way.
they want. So,
Yeah.
last thing, because I know you're going to have Korey Walker. Did I tell you what we call him?
I forgot.
Korey Walker.
Yes. Okay.
So we are starting wrestling this year. We're gonna real live wrestling. We're gonna have ladder matches. We're gonna have all that. We've ordered extra collapsible tables and folding chairs,
Cool. Ladders and yeah. Okay.
briefcases full of money.
You know, we
all
did.
that.
We do the Wrestling Hall of Fame in Stillwater. It's kind of a big. It is a big deal. It's the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, and the staff there says every day somebody comes in and is disappointed that it's not that WW whatever it is
Right.
wrestling. It's like real
Yeah.
collegiate
Well,
wrestling.
So, one of my favorites was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But did you ever watch wrestling? He carried a 2x4. So why did they call him Hacksaw? But he carried a 2x4.
You needed a pipe or something.
You would think,
Yeah.
or a hacksaw,
Or a hacksaw,
You, could,
yeah.
you know, well, I mean, we just walk out of the hacksaw. But he would come running out with a 2x4 instead of they could have called him Board.
Or Woody or something.
Rugen, yeah. So, but contact Coach Walker or Russ Choate. Russ has been a phenomenal supporter in this project as well. He's gone above and beyond. But he's very supportive of all our programs as well. But they have a 6th grade and below, kind of a little league or Pee Wee league for wrestlers that are 6th grade and below, and they've had 50 sign up already.
Yeah.
So get a hold of Coach Walker or Russ Choate, and there's a website or a Facebook site. I can't remember what that was called.
Oh, I'll find it.
Hennessey Takedown Club.
That's it.
I wrote it down.
Hennessey Takedown Club Facebook page.
Yep.
And it has all of their information. They put it
Yep.
up there. Yep.
And Coach Walker's coming on after this.
Yes.
You
And
guys
he-
want to watch that because he is a quality.
Super
quality
neat
guy.
Really, really neat
Yep.
guy. Yes.
So I think that's all I have, Jack.
Write down that Takedown Club thing.
Yeah, Hennessey Takedown Club.
Very cool. And it's not a school activity, but Coach Walker is the coach.
So it's like 4-H and FFA.
Gotcha.
So the 6th grade and down would be kind of our city or town club.
Gotcha.
And then Coach Walker's actually the head coach for junior high and high school, and it's boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
We have some young ladies. There will not be inter
No, the
gender
girl,
wrestling.
they wrestle each other,
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
Yeah.
Although I think Korey is a little bit afraid of his older sister.
I hear that. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to watch
I
because of
think
what.
so.
Yeah, that's inside family stuff about Korey and his sister.
His older sister.
And then the full-on school wrestling is coming very, very quickly. They're
Yeah, at the
already
end of
training.
football.
They're already training, aren't they?
Well, I think junior high is a little bit. High school
There's a lot of those
wrestling
guys
will
are still
come
in
after football. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I mean, I know there will be some that won't play football that will wrestle, but they're still not working out because Korey is also
He's a
one
football
of the
coach.
assistant football coaches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Mike. Thank you so much.
Hey, did you see that where we've had?
Oh, do this.
In
This is here.
5 weeks, we've only
Do you
had
know it by
one
heart?
case. I do.
Okay.
Because there's only one case. We've only
That's
had
it.
one case, one staff member test positive, and that's the only case we've had in 5 weeks at school.
That's amazing.
yeah, it's been
Yep,
pretty good.
following procedure has worked.
Yep.
So
Next time we'll kind of talk a little bit about what our steps are as far as our, loosening up and adjusting as we go.
Very, very cool. All right, that's it.
Thanks, Jack.
Be sure to run by, eat it up, and get you an itty bitty box. Good stuff. I'm gonna eat this cheese. You want some of this cheese?
No,
This is-
help
this is
yourself
really,
now
really
that you've
good.
broken out of your
And
training
then we'll be
regimen.
back in just a minute with Korey Walker. This week's update made possible in part by Prairie Quilt. And we're back. And I have somebody new. You're new. How long have you been here?
Moved to town in the end of July.
So first of this year, I guess, is when you officially started. This is Korey Walker. He is our wrestling coach,
wrestling coach.
helping with football.
Yes, football
So
and
what is
track
it
as
all
well.
you're doing?
So first, I am one of, I don't know, many of the teachers in the special education department.
Oh, I didn't know that. My
yes.
wife was a special ed teacher
Really,
for
really?
15 years.
Yeah, so I love that a lot. I didn't know much about it going into it, but I fell in love with the kids. Are awesome, and it's something I definitely think I want to stick with for a while. Make a career out of it, definitely. But on top of that, added the extras, help coach football, offensive line for the high school and middle school, help with that. Head wrestling coach, high school, middle school, and little league. Started all 3 brand new programs this year. And
So you're developing this thing from like scratch.
Yes.
We have nothing.
nothing.
Wow. Okay. It's a pretty big undertaking.
There's some kids out there with some experience who wrestled in different programs and things like that, but for the most part, everybody's fresh and new. And
I was really surprised at how many kids in Hennessey are active in the sport that we didn't even have here.
right, it definitely caught me off guard as well. I was like, okay, well,
have some talent.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, and it kind of, the kids who are new to the sport can look at that and they're like, okay, well, their peer, maybe at a certain talent level, and they're like, okay, well, I can achieve that as well, and it just kind of brings a different camaraderie to what we have here and can kind of develop a new culture and things like
Now you're from a legendary Oklahoma town for wrestling.
that. Yes, I am.
For
Yes, I
those that don't know, we have, was it 2 gold medalists or at least 3 Olympic participants from Midwest City? The Smith brothers?
So they're actually from Del City.
Del City, okay,
which
next
is
door.
Right, yeah, next door.
Okay.
Kind of our rival. But it's still kind of.
Rival, I didn't think of the rival.
right.
Sorry.
No. Hey, so I respect the Smiths very much, and they're a big name in the sport. And I actually was fortunate enough to be able to wrestle with John Smith's son whenever I competed with the Oklahoma national team and things like that. But the Gundys, Mike Gundy, the Gundy brothers actually wrestled at Midwest City, junior high state champs. There's a lot of names that kind of
Wow,
run
that's
through
like
there.
a real big wrestling hub just in that one little area of Oklahoma
Absolutely.
City or those little cities. That,
Absolutely.
well, that's very cool. Well, we do a lot of work with the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, so we're very connected with the Smith brothers
Oh, yeah.
and have traveled we did a documentary about the family.
Really?
We ate Thanksgiving dinner at the Smith family, and they have 10 kids.
Yes.
So it was pretty wild.
I bet that was a nice eventful dinner. I bet.
Yeah, no, it was pretty nice, very nice family. And then, when I started with them, I knew nothing about the sport, and I'm not a big athlete anyway. But I was really intrigued. My first tournament I went to was in Tulsa, where there's like thousands and thousands of kids at the fairgrounds, and I didn't even know how the scoring worked, but figured it out pretty quick.
Right.
So
Yes.
So what are some of the things that what are your plans for this deal? Are you going to want to do tournaments? We're starting off slow.
Yes,
Are we
yes.
ready to just go? Or
For the most part, we're just going right into it. There's no, with wrestling, there's not a really better way to learn the sport and figure out how the sport is supposed to be, figure out how it's supposed to be wrestled and participated in, other than just to kind of go out there and get some matches in, get some mat time, learn how, just how you wrestle and how your other opponents wrestle, and the more you get in there and the more you get, we call it mat time, more mat time you get, the better you get. And so it's just kind of, we started workouts, like I said earlier, in our conversation, we started workouts today on the mat with the middle school. Our Little League program will start this coming up Monday, and just high school, as soon as football season's over, we'll dive right into it. And high school schedule, since they're in the middle of the second year of their 2-year districts that they do, we won't be participating in a district this year, which won't allow us to be able to like qualify to participate in dual state, but we'll still be able to go to regionals. And
You're building a program.
Absolutely.
So next year you'll be ready for this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stepping stones, and so we'll get there eventually. And got a couple year, 2 to 3 year plan for us to be able to be a successful program. So
very, very cool. I understand you sing and play the guitar. I should have had him bring the guitar.
I'm teaching myself currently how to play guitar. I've learned a few songs. I'm a big worship music guy. Find a lot of worship tutorials on YouTube and things like that. And so
You can learn to do anything on YouTube, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Might have to have some of the kids just Google wrestling or YouTube some wrestling videos. And right. But no, yeah.
So next time he's on, he's going to perform.
Hey, might have to.
We'll be ready. Yes.
Right.
Very, very cool. Now I understand you're part of FCA.
Yes, sir. So
What is it? Tell us what that is all about.
So FCA stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It is actually worldwide organization. Here in Oklahoma, the headquarters is in Edmond. I was fortunate enough to be able to participate in FCA when I was in college at Oklahoma City University. Was the president of our FCA organization there. Went on to work 3 FCA camps. 2 of them were the extreme camps, or the high school camps that they have at Crosswhite camp out in Kingston, Oklahoma. And then another one was the competitors camp, which is at Camp Walk on Water, Camp WOW. I say around Stewart, a little bit past Ada, kind of in that general area. And that was kind of really where I fell in love with it, just with the people, the organization. And that's actually kind of where I realized that I could have an impact in coaching. And so from there, we kind of talked about it this year. We have some staff members on board that are basically want to take it to the next level. And
So is this new to Hennessey? Or has Hennessey had an FCA program?
so they've had FCA before. From what I've been told, to my knowledge, they've used to have some FCA meetings in the past in the mornings and things like that. I'm not sure how big it got or how popular it was, but we want to try and get it to where
Get a little more mainstream.
right,
Yeah.
to where we're bringing kids to these different camps throughout the summer, and sponsors are providing
cool.
opportunities for these kids to participate and just kind of develop a love for.
I didn't realize it had outreach. I thought it was just something that happened in school. That
For the most part, I think most people understand it that way. I didn't know it had outreach either until I got to college and saw the effect that it had on a lot of people. And so I still talk to kids from all over the place that I've had in my groups from all over the state that it just brings up a giant family.
And you went to OCU, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what
Yes, sir.
what did you study at OCU?
So I actually got my degree in religion.
Really?
Went in as a youth ministry major. Midway through my sophomore year, I went ahead and changed to religion, and then actually added on a minor in criminal justice.
This guy can do it all. And where did the athletic part come in?
Just a family history. My grandpa wrestled. He's from Chicago, came down to Oklahoma. He was the head wrestling coach at Northwest Classen in Oklahoma City for about 22 years. My dad wrestled. He was head coach at Southeast and a few other places. He's currently assistant wrestling coach and assistant football coach at Midwest City, where I went to high school. My brother wrestles at Oklahoma City right now. It's just kind of a big family thing. My mom
It seems like, and it seems like wrestling is a family thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That not only do all the members of the family participate, but the whole family goes to these events for weekends at a time. And
My older sister started wrestling before I did. Started when I was 5. She started wrestling a couple weeks before, and we're like, hey, we want to join in. So she actually got a taste of it before we did, and whooped our butts for a while until we were able to catch up. And she went ahead and let us have it. She could probably still beat us up a little bit. I don't want to admit it to her, but she could probably still get the best of us.
we won't tell anybody
Right.
that part. Now, from my experience, if you host a tournament, a wrestling tournament, it's a big deal. I'm talking like fill our hotels, fill our restaurants.
Absolutely.
We have hundreds of people here for several days in a row. That's an economic development thing.
Absolutely. And so that's the plan. The ultimate goal is here in the future, if we can get, it'll probably start off with the Little League program, since Little League tournaments tend to bring more people. We would love to do a giant tournament to where we can bring 2,000 to 3,000 people, however many can fit in the dome at capacity. Before it's a fire hazard or things like that, but or a safety risk. But I would love to pack that place up and have a giant wrestling tournament to where we're bringing in people are staying in our hotels and eating at our local restaurants and just helping this community thrive. So that's the ultimate goal.
Very, very cool. Is there anything I missed or you want to let people know?
I think just getting ready. We had a giant sign up for. We recently had over 50 kids sign up for our Little League program.
Wow.
Yeah. We had over
Who
50
would've
kids
thought?
sign up, and it's I'm really, really excited about that. It seems to be a lot the talk of the town these days, and I've had a lot of people come to me, and kids are excited about it. And if anybody has not heard about it and wants to come give it a shot, just practice Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 5:30. Come out and give it a shot. And
how do they reach you if they need you?
So we have a public Facebook group called Hennessey Takedown Club. You can be added to that group or join that group yourself, and I will do updates in there. Or you could also reach out to me on my Facebook. It's just my name, Korey Walker. Spell my name Korey. Or you could also contact me on my cell number. I'll go ahead and give it out.
I'll put it.
Yeah, you can.
Or I'll put it in the description of the video.
Okay, yeah,
that way, if
that'll
you're
be-
interested, you can just give Corey a call.
Absolutely. So you can give
Very,
me-
very cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
and this is exciting because I have, like I said, just a little bit of background in the film world of this thing, and it's neat to see it rapidly growing in Hennessey.
Right.
Very, very cool. All right, remember to swing by Eat It Up and tell Tracy that you heard about Eat It Up on this show. And don't forget, this week's Hennessey Post is available. Just go to allaboutHennessey.com and sign up. It's free. This is the town's official newspaper now. So check it out, and we'll see you next week. This week's update was made possible in part by R&H Truck and Autos.